Hello viewers, in this part of the program we shall discuss about relational and logical operators available in the language C++. The language which is used to command the computer to process our given task has got sequential programming, but many a times we need to have the conditional processing. For that purpose, there are many facilities available in C++ like selecting or repeating the statements written in the program. They are the if statement, the switch statement, the if operator and logical and logical OR. We will be talking about them one by one. The relational operators. The expressions which determine selection and repetition are usually comparisons. Comparisons are done with the help of relational operators. There are 6 relational operators, namely equal to, not equal to, less than, greater than, less than equal to and greater than equal to. The symbols are shown on the screen as double equal to. This is sign for comparison, whereas single equal to sign we use for the purpose of assignment. Then there are logical or Boolean operators. They are the operators which are used to combine two conditions. If we wish to do the task when one condition is true and another is not true, or both of them are true, for that purpose we use these operators. They are called logical or Boolean operators. The symbol is ampersand ampersand, double AND we call it. It is used for ending the logical ending of the two conditions. AND means when both the conditions are true in a two conditions statement. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C, that AND in between is considered as double ampersand. In the similar fashion, there are pipes which are used for the purpose of ORing the condition. If either of the conditions are true and we wish to do the statements execution, then we use OR operator. And there is exclamation sign which is for the negation. That means whatever condition is there, if we do not want that to be true, then we use not condition. Say for example, if I say A is greater than B, or it can be considered as not less than A equal to B. That means when all the conditions are there and you want to negate them, then you can put at the start of the condition an exclamation which will be negating the condition, and if the negation of that particular condition is true, the statement will be executed. Then there is conditional operator which is using question mark and colon sign. It is a ternary operator. Ternary means there are 3 operands in this particular statement when this particular operator is used. When we write A is equal to B, when we write A and B, there are 2 operands A and B and we are ending them. Similarly, here we are having ternary operator which is using 3 expressions. The syntax is expression 1 question mark, expression 2 colon, expression 3. It means if expression 1 is true, the result of the conditional expression is expression 2, otherwise the result is expression 3. For example, if x is less than 10, y is equal to 30, else y is equal to 40. It can be written as y is equal to x less than 10 question mark 30 colon 40. That means, if x is less than 10 is true, the statement which is written just after question mark will be executed and the value of y will be 30, otherwise it will be 40. Then there are compound assignment operators used in C language, which are just rewriting of the statements as you can see on the screen. If I wish to write A is equal to A plus 2, I can write A plus equal to 2. It is having the same effect. A plus equal to 2 is A is equal to A plus 2. The value of A is incremented by 2 and then again stored in A, that is A equal to A plus 2. In the similar fashion, all these operations are taking place. The operators are plus equal to, minus equal to, percent equal to, slash equal to and asterisk equal to. Asterisk is used for multiplication, slash is used for division and percent is used for integer division. Then there are increment decrement operators. They are unary operators, that means there is only single operand is required in them. I write a plus plus, that means a is equal to a plus 1, and also I write plus plus a, that is also equal to a plus 1. In the similar fashion, a minus minus is there, that means a is equal to a minus 1, and if I write minus minus a, that is also equal to a minus 1. But when they are used in expressions, there is a difference between the values they are going to take. How? A plus plus is post increment and plus plus a is pre increment. A minus minus is post decrement and minus minus a is pre decrement. We see an example. Let us have integer c as an integer. If the value of c is 5 as assigned, and I write c out less than c less than and L, that means the value is 5 because there is no change. If I write c out c plus plus, that means the value is again 5 because the value will be first printed and then incremented. And if I write now c out c, then the output will be 6. You see that after c plus plus statement is executed, the value will be incremented by 1. And in the similar fashion, if I write again with minus minus, c is equal to 5, the value initially is 5. If I write plus plus c, then the value is 6, because here it is pre increment, that means the value will be incremented first and then will be used in the expression. Here we are not having any mathematics to keep the thing simple, but you can understand that here the value is incremented first and then it is printed. If I write c plus plus, the value will be printed first and then it will be incremented. This is the difference. Now we talk about certain input and output statements. The input and output statements are used for getting the data into the computer and putting it out after the processing is done. The input and output statements are available in every language because these are the basics by which the person or the user can communicate with the computer. C++ uses a convenient abstraction called streams to perform input and output operations in sequential media such as the screen, the keyboard or a file. What is a stream? A stream is an entity where a program can either insert or extract characters to or from the device. Streams are a source destination of characters, and that these characters are provided or accepted sequentially, that means one after the other. The standard input output library includes header file IO stream. You all are aware that we have to write hash include the header file, that is called IO stream, which can be used to feed new data into the computer or obtain output on an output device. The standard stream we use is CIN, which is used for inputting the data, and Cout is the standard output stream. The Cout is used to print messages on screen in conjunction with the insertion operator less than. These two less than symbols are used for insertion of the data which is taken from the device, which can be a keyboard in general or any other device also. If I write Cout less than hello friends, that statement is going to print hello friends on the screen. If statement is Cout less than 250, 250 will be printed on the screen, that is the default output device. Cout less than sum. Sum is a variable and the value of sum, whatever it is, will be printed when this statement is executed. If we are printing the text messages, that is the strings, we have to put them in double quotation marks. If we have to put the value of a variable, we have to simply write the name of the variable. Multiple insertions can be used in a single statement. As in example, C out less than this in double quotation marks, less than then double quotation marks is a, double quotation marks are closed, less than double quotation open and single C plus plus statement. The output will be this is a single C plus plus statement. Now, you can see that we have used here 1, 2, 3 operators, they are in the single statement and all of them are putting the data in a sequential fashion. Whatever is written first in the statement will be printed first. If we want to print out a combination of variables and constants, the insertion operator, that is less than may be used more than once in a single statement again. How? As you can see the example, C out less than area is in quotation mark because it is a text, less than area less than square meter. Here area is a variable. Suppose if we assume that the value of area is 24, then the statement will be printing as area is 24 square meter, because the value of the variable area is 24 we have assumed. There is requirement of inputting the data also. This is C out we have just discussed. Now, C in is the statement which is used for taking the input from the keyboard. C stream, the object is C in. For formatted input operations, C in used together with the extraction operator which is written as greater than, the two greater than signs, and C out was having two less than symbols, less than. Here we are using greater than. This operator is then followed by the variable where the extracted data is stored. For example, if I write int marks, int is the type of the variable marks, and if I write C in greater than marks, what is going to happen? The user inputs some sequence with the help of keyboard. The characters input are only transmitted to the program when the enter or the return key is pressed. The extraction operator on C in uses the type of the variable after the greater than operator to determine how it interprets the characters read from the input. If it is an integer, the format expected is a series of digits. If a string is sequence of characters, etc. We have to take care of each situation while entering the data. Here is an issue. If you are writing C out, it is going to print the value. If you are writing C in and inputting the value of marks, if you are inputting the value which is not as expected, suppose I press A, whereas it is expected to give the data in integer form, and if I press A, you can expect that there can be an error, but C++ is not going to give an error. It will be converting the value into an integer form, and the value of marks can be considered as 65 if it is a capital A. So, you have to take care what kind of data you are actually entering while the data is being streamed through C out. So, you have to take care what kind of data you have to input. If it is marks, it is integer. For that purpose, we can use a C out statement earlier to C in statement, saying that please enter marks, so that the user can understand that now here you have to enter some integer value. The stream extraction operator greater than may be used more than once in a single statement. To request more than one datum, you can use the following: C in greater than name greater than age, which is again equivalent to C in greater than name semicolon one statement and C in greater than age another statement. These are two same statements. You can write one single statement asking from the user please enter your name and age, and then you can write either C in greater than name greater than age, or divide it into two different statements. Now, we talk about loops. There are many situations when we need to execute a block of code several number of times. In general, statements are executed sequentially. The first statement is executed first, followed by the second, and so on. Programming languages provide various control structures that allow for more complicated execution paths. A loop statement allows us to execute a statement or group of statements multiple times. There are 4 different ways in which we can have the loop or repetition of statements. The first is while loop. It repeats a statement or group of statements while a given condition is true. It tests the condition before executing the loop body. Then is for loop. It executes a sequence of statements multiple times, and the code that manages the loop variable is always checked before that. Then is do while loop. Like a while statement, except that it tests the condition at the end of the loop body. Then is nested loops. We can use one or more loops inside any another while, for or do while loops. Now, we talk about while loop. The syntax is while, expression and statement. That means, while statement, statement is a logical statement. If the value of this statement or the output of this statement is true, then only the statement written after this will be executed. We can have the combination of statements all together with the help of braces to make a block of statements. It repeats the statements when the expression is true. If expression is not true or it becomes false in the middle of the processing, next time the loop is not going to execute. If it is false at the very first time, the loop is not going to execute at all. The example, while I am concentrating on the 6th statement, while count is less than 10, its initialization is 1, sum is equal to sum plus count, count is equal to count plus 1. These are 2 statements to make the block, and afterwards C out is there. Statement 9 will be executed when the count value is not less than equal to 10. That means, when it is 11, the loop will be ending and you will be coming to statement 9, where the output will be the sum of the integers from 1 through 10 is, then is C out less than sum less than and L, then return 0. The output will be printed the sum of the values of integers from 1 to 10. Here, to check it again, the value of count is less than equal to 10 and you are getting out of the loop. The do while statement, it is the same as while loop, but the condition is tested or checked at the end of the loop, not at the beginning of the loop. That is the only difference between while and do while. You can check it here, do, and at the end while count is less than equal to 10. That means, the value of count will be less than equal to 10. This condition will be tested at the end of the statement of while. That means, even if the condition is not true at the very first time, at least once this particular loop statements will be executed. Then is for loop. The syntax is for initialization, condition, increase, then the statement. It repeats the statement while condition is true. It provides specific location to contain an initialization and an increase expression executed before the loop begins the first time and after each iteration respectively. Therefore, it is especially used to use counter variables as condition. For example, here we say for C is equal to 1, C less than equal to 10, C plus plus. Here C is equal to 1 is the initialization expression, C less than equal to 10 is the condition, and C plus plus is the increase. That means, every time the value of C will be incremented by 1 and checked for the condition. If it is true, then only it is going to execute the loop. If it is not true, then it is going to come out of the loop from the very first time. It cannot happen because we have initialized c is equal to 1. Had it been c is equal to 20 and condition is the same as c less than equal to 10, that means the condition is not true at the very first time, and then the loop will not going to be executed at all. There are 3 statements which are used to control the sequencing of the loops also in between. They are go to, break and continue. The go to statement allows to make an absolute jump to another point in the program. The destination point is identified by a label, which is then used as an argument for the go to statement. A label is made of a valid identifier followed by a colon. We can simply write go to xyz, and xyz is a label which is put before the statement where we want the control to jump. It is simple as that, though it is not advisable to use go to statement, but since facility is there, we must know it. Then the break statement, it leaves a loop even if the condition for its end is not fulfilled. In the middle of the loop, do while or for, if we put a break statement anywhere, the control will be simply coming out of the loop. It is used to end an infinite loop or go to force it to end before its natural end. This statement is used to break out of a loop. Control is transferred to the first statement after the end of the loop. And then there is a continue statement. It causes the program to skip the rest of the loop. It makes to control to jump to the start of the following iteration. It simply means, suppose there are 10 statements in the loop, and if I say break at the 6th statement, due to some condition, the rest of the statements will not be executed and the control will be transferred out of the loop to the next statement written just after the loop. And if I use continue at the same place, that simply means the rest of the statements written in the loop will not be executed, but the control will be not transferred to the out of the loop, it will be transferred to the start of the loop, and again the iteration is going to take place. In this part of the program, we have talked about relational and logical operators used in C++, then C in and C out, the basic input and output statements available to get the data into the computer and printing it out on the screen. We have also discussed about the loops available, the while loop, do while, for loop. Hope you have enjoyed the program and it might be informative to all of you. Thank you.